Recording. Hello, I'm Gaige from N2OTWO, and today we're going to be playing a role-playing game that I invented. With me is...
Cow Day.
Julian.
Will.
And Brandon.
And today, I already said it, but we're going to be playing a role-playing game!
Huzzah! Everyone get your D20s.
Basically.
Shit, where's my dice?
We're
I
not
have my
using
dice around
die
here
right
somewhere.
now. We got, it's a zombie survival role-playing game. The game's called Survive, and basically, they're gonna play...
The game's called Survive.
I know, it's, well, creative. Basically, the game's gonna be played right up until... Excuse me, I burped. Until every single character is dead. Every single one.
In about 5 minutes.
Which will be in 5 minutes.
Oh, thanks. Actually, no, I'm not. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, here we go. I'll introduce the characters. Cody will be playing Oswald Jovins. He's a male character. Occupation was a lieutenant marine. Well, he was a lieutenant. That was his rank. Then he was a marine. Yeah.
He was a lieutenant in the Marines.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, God.
He's a Portuguese Canadian. Age is 27. Description is a lieutenant stationed at the Battle of the CN Tower. His entire platoon was killed in combat against Aunt Jemima revolutionists. He held the line against 4,000 troops for 4 days while waiting for reinforcements, and managed to take out at least 500 of them before they arrived to relieve him, and the CN Tower was not taken that day. 5 years later, he now plans to take a flight and forget his past once and for all. So, yeah, we'll go that far.
You know, the best part about that is that it's a U.S. Marine, but he's at the CN Tower.
No, it's Canadian Marine.
Canadian Marine.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were. I didn't know they were actually called Marines.
They're called
I
Marines
thought
in
they were called something
universe.
different.
Yeah, sure. In this story, why not?
In this universe, they're Canadian Marines.
Okay, here we go.
No. Well,
Next up
yeah.
is Will's character, Keith Anderson. Male, video game designer, English, 20 years old. He recently got out of school to pursue his love for video games in Canada. He booked a flight that he heard John Woo would be on, and away he went. Next up, we got, of course, Jimmy Hudson, which is played by Brandon. And he's a male, a bodyguard, an Irish-Canadian, 30 years old. He's a bodyguard that decided to become a traveling bodyguard on planes. He was given the tools to protect and keep the peace in the air. He is right now the bodyguard of John Woo. So this should be interesting. Who's actually not in the game right now. John Woo's played by my younger brother, Bronte.
Are you going to explain, like, the strengths and weaknesses, too, or no?
Yeah, I can do that. Do you want me to?
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
we could just discover them as we go, you know?
Yeah, you can just do that.
We'll discover them as we go.
Okay, next up we got Julian's character, who actually suffers from amnesia, so some of these stats aren't correct. His name is Shay. Doesn't know his last name. He's a male. He's a bank robber. He's African-American.
Of course.
Yeah, 25 years old. He decided to go somewhere he couldn't remember. He wanted to see his friends that he doesn't know. He doesn't remember where the money was hidden, and he can't remember who his employer was. And most importantly, he doesn't know where the drop-off point was. So you can imagine how frustrating that... Well, actually, we couldn't imagine how frustrating. We're not bank robbers.
He doesn't know fuck all.
Yeah, of course.
And finally, the neutral character played by me, who will just kind of be like the guy that follows him around. Frankie Butts. He's a male. He's a pants model. He's English. 58 years old. After being a pilot, he retired to become a pants model. He now plans to fly for a job.
Pants model.
Okay, I guess I'm kind of like the
He's
dungeon
obsessed
master.
with how teams hold the ass.
Frankie
Of
Butts.
course. All right. Okay, so we'll
I
start.
guess wouldn't you technically be the subway master if this is like modern?
Subway
The
master.
subway man.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
suppose.
Yeah, the subway master.
Subway.
I'm the subway
All right,
master.
fine. To avoid future terminology, we're just going to call him the Game Master.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine.
Captain
whatever.
N, the Game Master.
Call me whatever you want, except for any other names. Here we go. We'll start with. Geez, I don't know if I'm a good dungeon
We're on the
master.
plane.
Huh?
We're on a plane, right?
I know we're on a plane. I'm just deciding which characters to
starting
start
on
with.
the
Flight
plane.
attendant or something.
We'll start with... Okay. Here we go.
Start with Frankie Butt.
The setting is you're on a plane, okay? All of you have gotten on this plane for various reasons. Most likely because you wanted to see John Woo. Unfortunately, it appears John Woo was in the bathroom the entire time, so you don't even get to have a
great.
autograph with him or anything. So you're kind of sitting in your chairs, you know, you're like, oh man, this is good, going somewhere else. I didn't get to see John Woo, kind of disappointed, but it's alright.
I'm going to make one request here.
Yeah.
Since I'm John Woo's bodyguard, I should be stationed outside the bathroom of John Woo.
Alright. So Brandon's character station... Okay, well, here. Okay, one sec. We'll start with Shay.
Oh, God.
He sits down. Obviously, he's in his chair. You know, he's kind of like, he's ready. He's ready to get to that drop-off point that I can't discuss. He knows where he put the money. He knows where everything is. He knows who his employer is, basically. He doesn't know why he's recollecting it, but, you know, he knows. Wow, there's really not much sitting in a plane. You know, it's a fucking plane. How much more descriptive?
It's a flying metal tube. What
It's
the fuck
a
you
flying metal
describe
tube
it
with
as?
wings. How much more descriptive can you get?
You're in a metal tube screaming through the skies.
Yeah. I guess the flight attendant guy comes over to you and says, hello, do you need any, shit, food, drinks?
And at that instant, the flight attendant was fired.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, I didn't catch your name, by the way.
It's Shay.
Shay...
Shea butter.
They're both giving that
Shea
out.
butter.
Guys, come on, Julian's gotta answer this.
Sorry.
It's alright, don't be sorry. It's
I
not
don't
like-
feel comfortable giving out my last name to strangers.
It's okay, I understand. Weirdo. He walks away, and he goes over to Jimmy Hudson, and he says to him, "Sir, do you need any drinks or food?"
No, thank you.
What's your name, by the way?
Names are for friends, so I don't need one.
Oh. He kind of looks disappointed, and he kind of looks down, a little sad, and he walks over to Keith Anderson.
Does this guy even
I
have
proceed to not
friends?
give a shit about his feelings.
This guy doesn't have friends, so he's trying to get some on a plane.
Hello, sir.
I choose not giving a shit as a standard action.
Can I interest you in a beverage, or maybe a snack?
Wait, is he talking to me again?
No, Will.
Oh,
No.
well, okay.
No, I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I could
okay.
get you a drink, maybe a cup of water.
I'm okay.
Are you sure you don't want a cup of water?
I'm okay.
Okay. I didn't catch your name, by the way.
Keith.
Your last name?
Who the hell goes up to a guy and asks him for his last name?
Do you say
You're
this,
the
or do you
weirdo
think
here.
it?
Get out of my face.
You say. He kind of looks
said it.
down, breaks into tears, and he walks over to Oswald Jovins.
Do flight attendants have name tags on?
Yeah. He walks
Okay.
over to Cody. He's crying. Can I get you some water? Maybe some food?
Well, if you have a Diet Pepsi, I'd like that, and I'd like some more peanuts.
Of course. What's your name?
I go to read his name tag. What does it say?
Bob.
That's it? There's no last name?
Bob James.
Oh, my name's James Bob.
No way. He looks at his shirt, and then he realizes something, and then he says, "I'll be right back with your drink." And he walks off. Clearly
His
offended.
name is Bob. James Bob.
A flight attendant comes by to Brandon and says, "Sir, you're gonna have to sit down now. I know you want to stand next to the bathroom and guard John Woo, but you're gonna have to sit down. There's gonna be some."
I think
turkey."
you're going to have to sit down.
Okay. I tried to warn you. He walked off and he was.
I'll be fine.
Some time passes. You know, you guys kind of sit there. The flight
I care
attendant.
not for your flippantry.
The flight attendant gave Cody his Diet Coke.
I feel like this flight attendant is going to be the reason the plane goes down.
I know.
No one tried to come and scratch.
The flight attendant's just gonna go suicidal and take over
And,
the fucking
You
pilot.
guys, everyone notices something. You kind of notice this really fat man. You know, this really fat man kind of walking by, wiping his head. He seems to be sweating. He's wiping, and he sits down right next to Cody. Right next to Cody.
Oh, good.
He sits down. You know,
Oh,
this
lucky
terrible,
bastard.
this terrible stench coming off of him, and he just looks at you. Could I borrow a sip of that Diet Coke?
I reach over and snap his neck.
What?
Wait, what the fuck?
Okay.
Snap neck.
Cody
Snap.
reaches his hands on the man's head. They feel quite warm underneath, and he snaps his neck in a quick jolt. An audible crack is heard, and he just stops breathing and dies.
I start laughing. Like the joke that
Does my
just
character see this at all?
No, nobody notices. It's just a loud crack. You just don't know what it was. You're kind of confused. But you just hear this loud crack, and he's just lying there now, sleeping. Well, in a sense.
pretend this or something like that.
Great, the military guy's a dick. We're
So
all
what do you do?
doomed.
What do you do,
Hey,
Cody? What do you do
No
now?
one sits beside me and asks for my drink, okay? I
What
can
guy
see-
in their right mind looking like a fat slob who probably like just is like dying of heat on a fucking plane sits beside a military guy?
I don't know. Guy that wanted a drink but instead got his neck
I
fractured.
I love how you're
Still
trying
not.
to paint it like it's the fat guy's fault that he got his neck snapped.
Yeah,
It is.
it is. Okay, I continue to drink and eat my nuts.
Okay. You continue to eat your nuts and you drink your Diet Coke as this man's just kind of sitting to you dead. You hear
Oh wait, I
screaming.
put his belt on, or tried to, so he won't move it.
Okay, you success. You couldn't get it on all the way, so you just kind of tie it in a knot around him. You start to hear a loud noise at the back of the plane. You hear kind of people, ruffling and shuffling. And Brandon kind of notices this first. He notices some people coming to the front of the plane, looking really scared and shocked. He comes right up to Brandon, Jimmy Hudson. He says, "Are you an officer?"
Not exactly.
There appears to be a man in the back seat, the back of the plane, and he's eating a woman's face.
Oh,
Plane
God.
off.
I'm sorry, he's what?
Eating a woman's face.
Okay, I draw my gun.
The man's completely scared that you just drew a gun out of nowhere, and he starts to run away from you in the opposite direction.
Lead me to the problem.
Just as you're about
I
to
have a
take,
Glock. I can solve this in a few hundred problems a minute.
just as you're about to take a step, the plane shifts kind of like on an angle, and you immediately go
You should have
flying
kept your gun in your
downwards
holster.
into the chairs below,
Oh, great.
and you lose your gun.
I lose what?
Your gun.
Oh, fuck
Idiot.
no, I go after it.
You try to look for it, and you successfully find it underneath an old woman who's kind of screaming, and that didn't buckle up.
Okay, I pick up the gun.
It appears to be lodged under her back, and she's kind of freaking out.
I rip the gun out from where it is.
You grab the gun, and as you pull it, you accidentally fire a shot, and you shoot the woman in the back. A loud audible bang echoes as the plane starts to spiral downwards, and this woman's body just goes flying to the back with blood going everywhere. You're now kind of holding onto a seat, and the plane's heading down.
Oh, great. So, yeah, I'm just holding onto a seat right now.
It's doing one of those. One of those.
Yeah. I love how you do a kamikaze sound effect for that.
Well, it's all plane noises. There's a quick impact and an explosion, and then blackness. Everyone just blacks out. You're blacked out.
Cool,
And
cool.
that's chapter
Except for
1.
John Woo, he escapes out one of them.
Except John Woo, who,
John Woo jumps out one of the windows.
flushes himself down the toilet.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh.